All right, here we are in part 1, World Maps and Africa. So below you're going to see these two different maps. One's the Bremen projection and one's the Mercator projection. And you're going to examine these two maps, not with a table partner. And then you're going to answer the questions below. So the first one we see here is the Bremen projection. So you'll see the equator, this line that runs east-west and divides into northern and southern hemispheres. And then the prime meridian that divides the world north-south into eastern and western hemispheres. And you'll see, pardon me, the continents North and South America, Europe, Asia, Australia. Pretty small representation of Antarctica, kind of a weird distorted version of Greenland up at the top. But then you also see like there's Africa represented in the white. And so that is the Bremen projection. And then we've got the Mercator projection. So you see a really large Antarctica down here at the bottom. You'll see a lot more of the Arctic Circle. You can see Greenland, all the islands of the Yukon Territory in Canada. We see just the equator running through here. The prime meridian, similarly, though, would still run like this region. And then we see the representation. There's Africa, again, Australia, Asia, North America, so on and so forth. So if you're looking at these two maps, what can you like automatically off the bat say about them? So this first question is asking you, what's the difference between these two maps? So the difference between the two maps is, and you're basically just telling me like, what do you notice? What do you see? So it might be an observation like that I made earlier. So in the Mercator projection, Antarctica is hugely represented on the map, where in the Bremen projection, it's almost not noticeable. You might also say like the continents look more stretched out in the Bremen projection versus the Mercator projection. It's kind of like, what observations do you see? The second question is asking you, which of the two maps do you think is the most accurate image of Africa and the world, and why? So I've already given you the sentence stem here. Of the two maps, the most accurate is the Bremen projection or the Mercator projection because. So you're deciding of these two that I've given you, which one is more accurate and why? Particularly as you're looking at like how Africa is projected or represented here on the map. Number 3, what happens to our perception of Africa specifically when we see maps of Africa that show it being very small and or very large? So we can look at the two size comparisons here of here's how Africa is represented on this projection versus how it's represented here. And we see that Africa is significantly smaller. What does that tell us? Like, what is our perception then of Africa if we just saw the Mercator projection? And then the last one is, how do these maps influence the way we think about Africa and its history? So if we only ever saw a map of Africa that size, what would our perception of it be and why? Once you're done with that, you're going to click on this, this link, and it's going to take you to this website. And it's visualizing how large Africa actually is. We have this very strange projection of it being, roughly the size of Canada and the United States put together. But if we look at this projection, up here in the corner you see the United States in Africa, like it fits in it, and there's a ton more. You can see it here as well. So that's the United States. In that also will fit Spain, France, Belgium, the Netherlands, Germany, Switzerland, Italy, all of Eastern Europe, India, and India some more, China, two parts of China kind of smooshed in there. We've got Japan, the UK. So you can also look at, if you wanted to look at land size, we've got the land area in kilometers, in miles, percentage of Africa if we were to put it inside of it like this. So you can see here United States would take up 32%, not even half. China would take up 32%. So together it would take up just over half. It's pretty bonkers to think through. We can also look at, here's a description of the misconception as presented in the Mercator projection. It has a lot to do with like the lines of latitude and longitude and how they're drawn. We're not going to get into it really in depth today. But if we showed it in its true size, Greenland is nowhere near that large. Canada is nowhere near that large. The United States is also not that large. Neither is Russia. But we've got this perception that it's just like enormous. Or we've got this other thought that Africa is quite small, or it's roughly the same size as the United States. We also have a strange distortion of South America, but we'll get into that when we study the Mesoamericans and Incas. Then it just talks about some other reasons for the stretch. So you can see up here the lines of latitude and longitude kind of squished out. And if you're interested in some other just really cool maps and or infographics, those are worth checking out. But that is the true size of Africa. It is huge, so do not be confused that it is not. Now I want you to post one of your answers from above, so you can pick any of these and you're going to put it on the Padlet. So it's going to click on this. You're going to go to our Padlet for the day. It looks like this. You're just going to add a response. Mine looks a little bit different because I'm the owner of this, so you're just going to add your little response. And close that out. All right, the next video you're going to be looking at is portraying African histories. We're going to talk through these images, but we'll see you in the next video.